Hey guys, Paul here with Pretty Good Golf, again with another wedge test for you. Actually, it's probably more like for me, I really want to figure out what wedges that are best suited for my mid-handicap game. So I have the My Golf Spy winner of 2024. This is the Ping S159, and I've got it in a 56 degree, and I'm going to be comparing that with a couple of other excellent options. One is the Vokey SM10. It's also a 56 degree wedge. And I have another one that I like. I tried the Cleveland CBX in the last video, and I found I was really surprised by the full swing performance. So I'm gonna move into the Cleveland RTX in the 56 wedge, try it out, see if it can keep up with the big boys in Ping and Titleist for 50-yard shots and for full swing. So I'm gonna hit about 10 shots for 50 yards for each club, 10 shots full swing for each club, and choose 5 of the best to compare each of them. And then I'll give my verdict as to what the best mid-handicap wedge is between the Cleveland RTX, the Titleist Vokey SM10, and the Ping S159. Okay, first up we have 50-yard shots with the Cleveland RTX Zip Core. This is a little bit slimmer than the CBX, and top line looks really nice. It's a very classic looking wedge, and it's a little less chunky looking than the CBX in my last video, and I would say equally nice as any wedge out there. It looks like similar to the Vokey, similar to the Ping in how it sits behind the ball. So a pretty beautiful looking wedge apart from some scuff marks in this demo. I got these clubs, borrowed them from the Golf Performance Project here in Victoria. It's thegolfproject.ca. Check them out. They're great. They do club fitting, club building, they do coaching, and they're just great guys. So borrowing these for this test from them. Okay, 50-yard shots with the Cleveland. I'm going to hit 10 and choose 5 of the best. So nice start. It's a little long maybe. Nice. Good shot. One more. Okay, next up we have the Ping S159 for 50-yard shots. I've never really hit Ping clubs very much, so I'm excited to check this one out. Let's see how it goes. It looks great. I'd say if I had to choose, all 3 of these wedges are really nice looking, but this one has just, I don't know, a little bit of class to it that I quite like, and looks really good behind the ball as well. So maybe slight marks to Ping for looks. Good start. Good result. Okay, not too bad. Okay, so interesting set with the Ping. I feel like it was a little more inconsistent, but I don't know if that's the club or just me not really ever hitting a Ping wedge before, so we'll see how it stacks up. And next up, I'll be hitting the Vokey SM10, 50-yard shots. I'll hit 10 shots and choose the 5 best. So the looks of the Vokey, they're pretty classic. It's got a thin top line, looks like a player's wedge, and just has a really nice look behind the ball as well. Good contact. Not too bad. yeah, nice. Okay, good finish to the 50-yard shots with the Vokey. Let's take a look at the numbers and see how they compare. Okay, let's compare the Vokey SM10 Ping S159 and the Cleveland RTX in the 50-yard shots. We can see that it's all pretty similar, but we do see quite a difference in spin, and I did have a hard time hitting the ping, and you can kind of see here really high standard deviation in the spin, meaning some shots were 6,600, some were 7,200, some were sub 6,000. And I'm gonna put that down to, I couldn't figure out how to hit the club, but that says something. I'm a mid-handicap golfer, and it should be something that I can pick up and just hit just fine. And so for that reason, the 50-yard shot with the ping was a little tough. The Cleveland RTX and the Vokey were both really good. I found, I was landing them all right around 50 yards. Spin was quite consistent, especially with the Cleveland here. I did have a really good set with the Vokey though too. It felt really nice to hit. So I would say, given this, it's the Cleveland or the Vokey for the 50-yard shot, and one or the other. Honestly, I think Cleveland might be a little less expensive, so I'd probably go with that. If we look at the club data, we can see strike with the ping was kind of all over the map, so that's an exaggeration for sure, but it was definitely not as solid as the Cleveland or the Vokey. Looking back at the ball data again, dispersion's really good. I think with the Vokey, it was maybe the tightest. Cleveland was maybe had one or two that were a little bit wider. So given that, potentially pay the extra 30 bucks or so and get a Vokey if it is going to bring that dispersion circle a little closer to the pin. I do like that. Okay, that's the 50-yard shot. Next up, we're going to hit full swings and compare these three wedges. Okay, moving on to the full swing, I'm going to start with the Vokey. I've got the green set at about 75 yards with a 56-degree wedge. My full swing probably only goes 80 at the most. I can't really set the green at 80, but it should show well enough. All I'm looking for is tight dispersion, not too much in the way of standard deviation for spin, and just being able to hit them nicely without too many mishits. So that's going to be a factor for a mid-handicap golfer like me. So here's the Vokey, full swing, 10 shots. I'll take 5 of the best. Yeah, I think that's about normal carry for me on a 56-degree wedge, is like 80 yards. That one was a little longer, but it went left, and that can be hand in hand there, left and long. Okay, so that was 10 shots with the Vokey. Felt pretty consistent. There were a few there that were less than 75 yards, which I don't love, but that's going to be on me. And how I hit 56-degree wedges, I don't really compress it that much. So not too bad. Good start. Okay, next up we have the Ping S159 for the full swing shots. Again, the green's only at 75 yards because that is about how far I hit a 56-degree wedge. So here we go, 10 good ones, or 10 shots, and I'll take 5 good ones for comparison. Definitely a bit off the toe in that one, but kind of got away with it. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling to stay consistent with this Ping wedge. You can see, definitely taking the paint off the ball, but not all in the center of the club, that's for sure. It's a better shot. Okay, another decent one, a little left, but good distance. Okay, 10 shots with the Ping, full swing, definitely all over the face. I just found this one a little hard to hit compared to the Vokey. That was kind of the same story with the 50-yard shot. So although my Golf Spy had this as their best wedge overall, might not be the best for me, but we'll wait and see until we check out the data. Okay, last but not least, we have the Cleveland RTX 6 Zip Core. This is the full swing, and I kind of like how this feels when I hold it. No idea why, it's very subjective, but feels like just a comfortable club. So let's see if that pans out with 10 swings, hopefully 5 good ones to compare with the other 2 clubs. Good start. That one actually felt like a mishit, but I got away with it. Don't see the data on the club, but I can see the paint on the club. Okay, not a bad set with the Cleveland RTX. So let's take a look at all of the data, see how my sort of subjective feels compare to what actually happened with each of these 3 clubs. Okay, this time I'm actually gonna start by giving you the full data of 10 shots for each club, and then I'll get rid of some of those mishits so that I can compare it a little bit better. But this will show you total spin, everything was over 10,000. That's why those are showing as basically blank. I'll tell you what the average is once I pair these back to 5 good shots each. But you can see that Cleveland had a little bit more ball speed across 10 shots, mishits and all. Ping and Vokey were right around 72 miles an hour. Carry distance was all about the same. The Vokey was a little bit less than the other 2, but the Ping had the most standard deviation across those 10 shots, meaning I just couldn't figure out how to use it, and you can see that by the wide dispersion area for the yellow Ping club there. We look at club data across the 10 shots, we can see club head speed's pretty close. For some reason, I think I just felt more comfortable with the Cleveland, so I was swinging at maybe a mile an hour, 2 miles an hour. Yeah, maybe a mile an hour faster, or a little faster than the Ping even. Again, you can kind of tell I just wasn't comfortable with the Ping. But that's important too, because I'm not going to be able to cut out 50% of my shots on the course. So having a look at this, the Vokey seems to have a really tight dispersion. Cleveland maybe close second, maybe not. I think there might have been a couple of long ones that pushed the Cleveland out there. So let's have a look at what it looks like, kind of normalized data. Okay, here's with 5 shots taken. I removed kind of 5 of the worst strikes, whether it was long and left or a big mishit and short. So we can see here the carry distance was all about the same. Cleveland maybe had the tightest carry distance, standard deviation 1 yard, and carried about a yard further than the others. Ball speed was up a tiny bit again with the Cleveland across 5 good shots. The spin here, it was actually 10,700 on average with the Vokey, 10,400 with the Ping, and 10,500 with the Cleveland. So all about the same, but again, a little tighter standard deviation with the Vokey and the Cleveland in terms of spin window. That has nothing to do with, I've heard the Ping is really consistent in spin, but I think it's just that I couldn't quite figure out how to hit it properly. And if we go to the club data, we can see, again, club head speed is all about the same, within a 1 mile an hour here with this 5 set. Efficiency 0.94, 0.93, right around the same efficiency across the board. And I think we only picked up the Vokey's strike there. I think maybe we just didn't, the quad didn't quite capture that for the Ping or the Cleveland. But anyway, looking at this, I'd have to say it's either the Vokey or the Cleveland. I think I would probably feel like the Cleveland just because I think it's a little cheaper than the Vokey. And I just felt really comfortable hitting it. Okay, so a few good wedges here. I really wanted to try the Ping because of the My Golf Spy 2024 Wedge of the Year. It's not for me though, unfortunately. It was for, I guess, a lot of different golfers, but that's not the one for me. It's going to be either the Cleveland RTX or the Vokey SM10 that I would probably go with. I heard they're discontinuing the RTX this year, so they're going to come out with the RTZ or RTZ if you're in Canada, and I'll have to give that a shot when that comes out. But for now, I'm sure I could find a discounted RTX and be really happy with that. So that's it for this wedge test. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. And if you did, please subscribe. I'm going to do lots more of these golf club tests in the future. It's a lot of fun for me and hopefully you enjoy it too. Okay, thanks for watching and see you in the next one.